Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Galib Amin, and I'm going to be going over today my sociological self portrait, going over the past 8 weeks of study in this class in sociology. I can't believe it's already over. This class kind of zoomed by to really think about it. Like, it was definitely a helpful class. It helped me see myself in a different light, a lot of stuff I was not aware of that I may have done, but these assignments over the last 8 weeks really helped me see myself in a new light, and it's definitely a class that I would highly recommend to anybody and everybody. Mustard, calm down. Deviance looks at behavior and actions violating social norms. It applies to formally attracted rules as well as informal social norms. Social norms are different between cultures and throughout society. Labeling theories declares that people become deviants due to their identity. It usually is based on a stigma. A label individual may get identified with stigmatized, causing another person to attach the prescribed identity upon them. And this is actually a very interesting one, deviance. Growing up from the south side of Chicago, like a lot of social norms is the black boys are supposed to be trapping and getting into mess, slinging dope, getting into fights and everything. And I feel like I defied all those social norms with my upbringing and everything. I was homeschooled for part of my life through high school. I was really focused on my studies. I was focused on working, because I came from a lower class income family. I started working full time when I was 16. I got my GED and I started working, just to bring food onto my family's table and everything. And I feel like uh, it looks deviant. It's the looks and the behaviors that act and violate the social norms, right? So I would like to think of it as I flipped it. The social norm in Chicago is like you're gonna go to jail, you're gonna end up shot, or you're gonna end up dead. Those are the three options, and I feel like I defied those social norms in Chicago. It really helped me. Yeah, it really helped me. Uh, Especially in Chicago, as a black man, you're just looked at as a thug, as a criminal most of the time from many people's eyes, especially how you carry yourself, how you dress, how you walk, and everything. So if you got a hoodie on, which is always cold in Chicago for the most part, besides the summer, you're always gonna have a hoodie on, and you don't want to be labeled or stigmatized as a thug. So I always would try to break those norms. I would go out my way to look different and to break that perception of people thinking that about me. You know, Ethnic and racial identity. Among the different dimensions of people's identity, ethnicity refers to the idea of being a member of a specific nationality, racial, or cultural group. Race, a social construct, is concerned with the particular characteristics of a group or individual. Though we are all different, we share some common essential elements as religion, culture, or language. Ethnic and racial identity help me identify and belong to a group that share my values and beliefs. And this goes kind of into the deviance where I was talking about my racial identifier. I'm African American. Is is being labeled that thug all the time for being black in Chicago can sometimes be very exhausting to break those racial constructs of what people may think of you and everything. But I honestly have used that to motivate me, like I don't want to be the stereotypical black person you see on TV as a rapper or entertainer or a football player. I always strive to be more than just a label, in my life. I'm proud to be an African American male. I'm proud of my upbringing. I had two parents in my home. I had four brothers and two sisters, and I think having that strong family bond within our household helped me appreciate all that I had and all that I am as a person. Yeah, so into this, I didn't know race was really a social construct. It's concerned with the particular characteristics of a group or an individual. I never really thought of race that deep to see it as a social construct until this class, and that was very beneficial to me to reflect on, knowing that it really is just a social construct and put out there with society's norms of how individuals act and everything. I kind of saw like different ways that people have judged me over my life period and everything. And yeah, it really, when you think about it, it really is a social construct. Power and inequity affects the ability to influence behavior. The social structure further legitimizes it and makes the powerful exercise their will despite others resisting against it. Power is held by the social classes or material wealth and knowledge and authority. To propose power, one needs to acquire social status, wealth, knowledge, or expertise. Balance of power is usually equal. What varies is the relative strength discovered and utilized by each group. Uh, I'm going to take this as an example within the United States Army and everything. I came in as a E1, which is a private. We call them scratch and sniffs. I came in with no rank on my chest, right? Fuzzy. All the way to now that I'm a staff sergeant in the United States. As a private, you have to follow the orders of just about everyone in the unit, because you're the lowest rank. And even the next rank can tell you what to do, which is PV2 and E2 as well. So coming up as a private, I was listening to everybody. They tell me something, I got to go execute. It's an order, it's a lawful order. So going up the ranks and everything, I kind of appreciate where I am now more so than when I was there, because I went through the struggle of listening to everybody, right? And now me being in charge of platoons or squads of 12 to a platoon of like 34, 36, I know what it's like to walk in the shoes of those people with lower ranks and everything, of E1s, E2s, E3s, E4s, E5s. I walked in all of those shoes, so I can appreciate and try to make it easier on them. Like, I don't want anybody to have the same experience that I had coming up through the Army, because I had to battle through prejudice and racism from leadership and people not wanting me to progress. So now I try to reach down and help whoever I can. I don't want the private to an E2 to go through the stressful times that I went through. I was in Germany for 3 years, away, thousands of miles away from anybody that I knew or family, in a different culture setting. And I just want to help as many soldiers coming up through the ranks as I can, because I want to pass down the knowledge, all the knowledge that I've learned. And I want to use the power in a good way. I want to influence people's lives in a good way and not try to stress them out and hold them back from progressing. Social mobility is the change in status, either higher or lower. It can be horizontal or it can be vertical. School usually is the first place a person's mind is shaped. One is also expected to achieve more and given the bigger possibility school offers that their background cannot. It's not just education, but how people live is an important factor in social mobility. And I do believe school is It's the first place that you're shaped. I think that's one of the key components. I think that's why we're in college too. So social mobility to move up the ranks or in ladder of our organizations that we may work in. You will need a higher education, and that's why people seek out college degrees and everything. That's why I'm seeking out my college degree. I want to eventually be a social worker. I want to move back to inner cities and give back to young black kids that maybe don't see a way out of their environment without having to hustle or trap and everything. And I just want to give them that positive, reflective role model that there is a way to move up out of their situation without having to be in the system, you know? So I think social mobility, we're always seeking that as individuals. We're always seeking to get higher in our line of work. Factors affecting social mobility is globalization has made the world a small place. Gentrification has, on the other hand, has changed neighborhoods and characteristics. The wealthier people change such areas and commodities. Many disadvantages people will look for their better living conditions due to high living costs. The wealthy thus improve housing and have gated communities and affect businesses and social mobility amenities. That's true. It's always forever changing. It seems like the wealthy just continue to get wealthy, and the poor keep getting more poor. You see that a lot in the city of Chicago now. Gentrification is changing neighborhoods around, trying to isolate and kick minorities out of those areas more and more. You see that going on in Chicago. Social structures. Social structures are a social arrangement within a society. They can include family, economy, religion, or class. Society through social structures is separated into different levels. They are usually connected and guided by social systems, underlying factors in class, religion, education. Social norms influence social structure, given the relationship between the majority and minority groups. Occupy status. One cannot choose their status. One is either molded into it or given by society. Status further influence one's employment and education level. Achieve status focus more on personal abilities, skills, effort. Social interactions results from playing specific roles within one ascribed status, such as interactions serve many functions, including structure, socialization, stability, and promoting change. Social self-portrait is essential to determine the constituting elements of social portrait. It is based on social status, gender, family, culture, roles, education, or employment. It is also a basic foundation of socialization. Social portrait through status roles analyze one's contribution to society. Using concepts like values and attributes shed light on person, inner world, and revealing individuals' general focus on one's lifestyle, roles, contributing society. Inclusion. Social self-portrait helps create a visual representation both meaningful and recognizable of one's self-cultural self. The social world greatly shapes and influences the person. So, sociological self-portraits look self-presentation, self-awareness, individual social constructs. There are many great opportunities gained and learn from its culture, viewing attributes change and responding to culture. Some people may change and adapt while others seek to be changed.